Now that we've seen some of the basics of Venn diagrams, let's dig into how to shade them and how they can actually represent various events. So here I have two separate Venn diagrams. You'll have to draw these for yourself. And using the two events A and B inside of the sample space, shade the region representing both of these things. So let's represent in A but not in B. And I'm going to write that as in A intersecting with not B. So if something is to be in A and not in B, then well, let's break that down one at a time. Everything that's in A would be everything inside this entire circle, but I don't want it to exist in B. So that only region then that I have to remove is where the intersection is of those two things. So in A and not in B, or the intersection between A and not B, is going to be given as this shaded area right here. So it's everything that is in A, but removing wherever B exists, which is that intersection between A and B. Okay, now let's take a look at neither A nor B. That's the next one here. So if it's neither A nor B, that's like saying A or B, or the union of those sets, but the opposite of those things. So the opposite of the union of those two, well, let's think about what the union would be. It would be shading all of these circles here, and the opposite of that is whatever is in the sample space that is outside of those circles. So here I'm shading everything that is not in those events A and B. And that's it. So really when you're doing these problems, it's just a matter of thinking about what is being shaded, what isn't being shaded. Sometimes I think it's helpful to almost like shade in something and then erase. So like in this first example, it might have been helpful if I shaded in the A, but then erased what was in B. And you can do that kind of mentally, or if you want to actually do that with your pencil and eraser, all the power to you. So why don't you give these two a try. Here are two Venn diagrams. Draw not A intersected with B, and then take the intersection of A and B and negate that. Find not the intersection of A and B. So pause this video, give those two a shot, and see how it goes. Okay, and here are my answers. A whole lot of crazy shading going on for that second one. Again, think about if I were to remove what was on the outside, if I were to think about this being just the intersection of A and B, that's what's in the middle. And if I want the complement of that, or the opposite of that, then I have to shade everything else. So hopefully those went okay. Let's do another one. And we're going to use some numerical analysis of Venn diagrams. So here's a Venn diagram of a sample space, and it illustrates the number of people in a sporting club who play tennis, that's this circle here, and hockey, that's the right-hand circle here. I want to determine the number of people for all these things. So we're just going to do A and B, and then actually you're going to do C, D, and E for the you try examples. So first off, let's talk about all the people who are in the club. And the club is, in this case, just what the sample space is. So every single person inside of this Venn diagram is in the club. So I'm just going to add up all of the numbers, since all of these regions represent a different grouping of people. So 15 plus 27 plus 26 plus 7, that's equal to 75. So that's 75 people in the club. And you'll notice the 7 here, I can't forget that one. They're in the club, they just don't play tennis or hockey. And then B, let's talk about all the people who play hockey. Well, that's going to be everybody enclosed in this circle here. And some of these people play tennis as well, but I'm really only concerned with just the number that play hockey. So every person in this circle plays hockey. So that's going to be a 27 plus 26. So that means that 53 people play hockey. So why don't you try the next few. Try C, D, and E, and just see if you can't make out from this Venn diagram how to answer each of these questions. So pause the video and give these three a shot. All right, and here are the answers I have here. Check them out, see how you did.